Guys, what's up? This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Have a lot I want to get into. Happy Friday, everybody. We're here to talk the Philadelphia Eagles, here to talk the Birds, here to talk NFL. Let's do it. So obviously the Philadelphia Eagles are they're on their bye week this week. So there's not going to be a lot going on for them, but there are some games. Um, One in particular that we have to look forward to this weekend, which is obviously the Dallas Cowboys versus the Washington football team. Why is this important, guys? Well, because the Washington football team are right there, uh, right in front of the Eagles for that seventh spot in the playoffs, seventh wild card spot. Um, so here's the thing. I hate Dallas with a passion. I hate Dallas with a passion, but unfortunately, and I don't want to root for Dallas. And kind of every Eagles fan is saying this weekend, but we might just have to. We might just have to root for Dallas this weekend to beat the Washington football team. If Dallas beats Washington football team, obviously the Eagles play Washington next week, coming out of the bye week, and and the Eagles will have the seventh seed. Now that will only be after 1 week. That will only be after 1 week. Hopefully, we can get what we want. Obviously, they're going to go back to Jalen Hurts, so um, the Eagles could have put all this stuff away back when we had the chance to beat the Giants, and probably would have had the seventh seed going into the bye week if we just beat the Giants, the Jets, and da 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 da. But unfortunately, they didn't do that. So will Jalen be able to rise to the occasion? That's going to be the big thing. Will Jalen be able to rise to the occasion if the Dallas Cowboys beat Washington and when we play Washington next week? Will Jalen Hurts be able to rise to the occasion? That's what we need. That's what we need. King Miro, welcome to the chat today, my man. Happy Friday, my dude. I'm enjoying this bye week, but I have to vote for Dallas in this game as much as we hate it right now. Yeah, I just got done saying that. Opening up the stream that way. Unfortunately, every Philadelphia journalist, Eagles fan, da 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 da, they're all kind of saying the same exact thing this week, and that is we hate Dallas with a passion. We draft, we without a doubt, don't want to root for Dallas. Like, it's the last thing that we want to do, but unfortunately, we're most likely going to end up rooting for Dallas this weekend because we need them to beat the Washington football team. But it is only 1 week, guys. It is only 1 week, so that's the big thing. Yes, Dallas needs to beat Washington, who's on a roll right now. So I'm not gonna I don't want us to get ahead of ourselves and think that that's like a piece of cake for Dallas. It's not. It's not. Like, Taylor Heineke and the Washington football team, they're on a roll. They're playing well. But again, like, getting back to what I was saying, it is only 1 week. Dallas needs to beat Washington. We need to beat Washington. Let's say all those things come into play, all those things come to fruition. We get what we want over the next 2 weeks. Dallas beats Washington. We beat Washington. Eagles have the seventh seed. We still got like 4 more games left to go. We still got 4 more games left to go. Technically, the Eagles need to win out. They still need to win out. They still need to sweep Washington. They still need to sweep best case scenario, they need to sweep Washington. Or worst case scenario, they need to win out. Worst case scenario, they need to win out, and their backs are up against the wall, for the rest of the season. Best case scenario, Washington loses 2 more games. Or Washington loses 3 more games, two of which are to us, and Dallas loses 2 more games, one of which is to us. That's and the Eagles don't have their back up against the wall. That's the best case scenario but here's the thing. King Miro makes a perfect point, and I'm going to put this up here right now. The NFC East is getting intense right now. It is so intense. and that's the thing is like Dallas. Yes, Dallas could beat Washington, and we could beat Washington, but Washington's not out of it. Right? Like Washington wouldn't be. At least I don't think so. At least I don't think so. Right? Like that would put them at that would put them at 8 losses on the season. That would put Washington at 8 losses on the season. Yeah. Mike Nixon, what's up, my man? Welcome to the chat. What up, TB? Happy Friday and happy holidays, bro. Do you think that they are going to have a combine this year? I hope they do because I love watching the combine. I think they're going to have a combine. Yeah, man, I do. I think they're going to have a combine. I think that there's going to be – I think they're going to do it a little differently. I think that there's going to be – I think that they're going to have, some different ways that they're going to go about it, but, some safe ways. But it's interesting. It's interesting how they would do that. Maybe they'll spread it. Maybe they'll spread it out even more. So that there's not as many people attending, and those sorts of things. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I hope that they have a combine because I love watching the combine too. So I'm a big fan of the combine. Speaking of combine and prospects, college prospects, Kenny Pickett was interviewed just the other day, and maybe it was today. It was yesterday. Kenny Pickett, quarterback for the Pittsburgh for Pitt. Apparently Kenny Pickett grew up a big Eagles fan. He used to go to the games and watch Donovan McNabb all the time. So is that foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I mean, if they wrote it in a book, then you could probably say that that's foreshadowing. But let's get back to this NFC East talk. Let's get back to this NFC East talk because it is really intriguing. You know what I mean? It is really intriguing. So right now, so it's all gonna revolve around what happens this weekend between Washington and Dallas. Let me bring this up just so we have it here in front of us. Okay, Dallas is 8-4 and Washington is 6-6. So, crazy thing is that Washington is playing well. Washington could win out, guys. Washington could win out. Don't rule that out either. And what would that do for Washington? Well, that would put them at 11-6. That would put them at 11-6. Now, I'm not saying Washington's going to win out. I mean, because don't they still have to play the Cardinals, or is it the Cowboys that still have to play the Cardinals? I think it's the Cowboys that still have to play the Cardinals. Let me see. But think about that for a second, though. It's like if the Washington football team wins out and Dallas loses 2 more games, then Washington wins the NFC East. It's insane. It's insane. It's insanity. It's insanity at its finest. Mike Nixon says, but my Giants suck. I have already focused on the draft, and now with the Daniel Jones injury, he may never play again. He has some structural damage in his neck. We may need to draft the QB this year. Yeah. You guys need to get rid of your head coach, Mike. You guys just need to get rid of your head coach. He's just a bad idea all the way around. I was thinking about the Giants. The other day, and wouldn't it be funny if Jake Fromm, his name Jake Fromm, just came out and like completely shocked the world. I mean, wouldn't that be hilarious against the Chargers this weekend? That'd be absolutely hilarious. I mean, he was a college phenom. And I wouldn't put it past him. I think it would be absolutely hilarious if Jake Fromm came out and just completely shocked the world this weekend. So it would only be that's a Eagles and Giants thing. Is when you have like a diamond in the rough sitting right underneath a rock right inside your organization, and you have no idea that it's sitting there, or you're just too ignorant to realize that it's right there. It's right there. King Miro says Cowgirls play the Cardinals on week 16, I think. Yeah, so just that's my point. Okay, so getting back to that, right? So like Washington's playing well. It's not going to be this game is not going to be a walk in the park for the Cowboys. So, let's not act like it's going to. Um let's say Washington wins and beats the Cowboys. Cowboys are 8-5, Washington 7-6. Um it's not really good. It's not really good for the Eagles. There's still obviously pathways for the Eagles to make the 7th seed at that point. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but Washington beats Dallas. They're 7-6. Dallas is 8-5, and then Dallas loses the Cardinals in week 16, which will happen. Come on, let's be honest. It's going to happen. And then Washington continues to win, or then let's say Washington wins out because Jalen Hurts can't beat Washington. Washington wins the NFC East. There you have it. Washington wins the NFC East. There's a lot of different pathways that this thing could go. It's like mixing different chemicals together, and you can have different things be the end result. You know what I mean? Mike Nixon says, but per report, Judge will be back next year per NBC Sports. I mean, let's see what happens. It's really stupid. I mean, okay. I mean, it's really stupid for the New York Giants organization to not at least entertain ideas. Because in my opinion, like, you have 2 losing seasons like the one that you have, like the ones that you've had over obviously over the course of last season and this season, and in my opinion, like a new head coach should get like maybe like 2 years to really prove themselves. 3 years maybe. If it looks like it's getting better. It doesn't look like it's getting better. Like Nick Sirianni has shown more progress than Joe Judge in less than a full season. You know what I mean? So I don't know. If I were you, I'd be upset with the organization that they're not even that. I would be upset that I heard that report on NBC Sports, but we'll see. I mean, it's the season's not over. Mike Nixon says Mike Glennon is playing this week. He passed the concussion protocols. Oh man, I was I was kind of excited to see Jake Fromm. Not Mike Glennon. King Miro says, I do like Joe Judge. I don't think he's the problem. It's their GM, Dave. But it's his last year with the Giants. I mean, I think it's both, honestly. Here's the thing. Dave Gettleman brought in Saquon Barkley. And some other really, really good players. I think I think Dave Gettleman does have issues of his own. But when I talk about Joe Judge, I'm talking about coaching. I'm talking about coaching. I'm not talking about what's wrong with them as a whole. I'm talking about coaching and wins. And wins and the fact that and their lack of wins comes down to coaching. It really does. It really does. It has nothing to do with Dave Gettleman. It has nothing to do with Dave Gettleman. It really doesn't. It really does not. That has to do with your coach. That has to do with your coach. And honestly, if it were me, but it's not, and this is just me because like I just despise Joe Judge with a passion. I would have gotten him out of there as soon as he started blaming other people for his inability to obtain wins last year, and started blaming other franchises like the Philadelphia Eagles for sitting Jalen Hurts against the Washington football team, who, by the way, had a 17-0 lead before Jalen Hurts scored two rushing touchdowns to make it close. And then that's when the Eagles pulled Jalen Hurts. So don't like. Anyway, I brought that up before. I don't want to get into it. Mike Nixon says, "Trust me, I want to clean house. Don't get it twisted. I've been done." Joe Judge. Yeah. King says we still need get that full High Roseman out of Philly. No, I don't think. Look, here we go. No, I don't think we need to get High Roseman completely out of Philly. I think we need to relinquish, draft responsibility from High Roseman. That's what I think. I don't think we need to. I like High Roseman's great with contracts and he is pretty good with trades. But when it comes to drafting, I agree with you, King. Like, he's shit. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So I don't think we need to kick him out of Philly. I think we just need to relinquish some of the draft responsibility because he has not been good. There is no denying that. No denying that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyway, who else do we got this week? Obviously, so Dallas and Washington. I want to know. Want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this because once again, at this time of the year, Dallas is really inconsistent, and I don't trust them with. I don't trust Dallas. I just don't trust Dallas. I don't trust Dallas. If they were a mint chocolate chip ice cream cone, I would probably trust Dallas a little bit more, but they're not because that's my favorite ice cream. And, so they're just not. But, so that's why I think that Washington could probably win this game. Like it would not put it past me. Taylor Heineke's not doing anything out of the ordinary. He's managing games, and that's how they're winning. They're playing decent defense. And that's kind of what they just need to do against Dallas. That's what they need to do against Dallas. It's interesting. I was listening to Lord Brunson. Was it Lord Brunson who said this? LB. LB said this the other day, and he was like, and he said, "Trust me, I live in the DC area. We want Washington to win this game because if Washington wins this game, then they won't win another game after this because that's all that they hope for throughout the season is just to beat Dallas. After that, nothing matters. Nothing matters." So I thought that was interesting. One, I get where he's coming from. It's a big deal. First off, it's a big deal for any of the NFC East teams to beat Dallas because nobody fucking likes Dallas. Nobody likes Dallas. Their fan base sucks. They're a bunch of bitches and complainers and they're delusional. And and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Plain and simple. So I mean, look, if Washington beats Dallas and LB is right, and Washington doesn't win another game after that, then that'd be great. I would be so happy about that. But unfortunately, I don't think that that's going to happen. Unfortunately, I think that this Washington team is a little bit different in the sense that um, they seem like they have a bit of a bigger bag of cojones. You know what I mean? A bit of a bigger bag of cojones. If they beat Dallas, um, I feel like it could empower them a little bit. King says, DB, you need to be our next GM. You'll win us some Super Bowls. Probably. Probably. It's really like here's the thing is I wouldn't get cocky and try to do it all on my own. I would take what I know about every single roster and look at every single player of every single roster and make the calls and all that jazz and check in to see if anybody else is available, and I would speak with my advisors and see what how we could get this guy and what we could do and da 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 da, and I would do my research in the draft and shit like that. And yeah, I probably could. In fact, I probably could do it. I probably could fucking do it. Because here's the thing, it's I like I I put up a draft board for myself every single fucking year. Every single fucking year. I knew I wanted DK Metcalf right away. Right away. I knew I wanted DK Metcalf. I didn't want Derek Barnett. I wanted DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. Was it 2000? Was that year? Was it 2018? Or 2017, I mean? Was it that year? I think it was that. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that year. It was 2018, right? I don't remember. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because I actually had. It was the Andre Dillard year. It was the Andre Dillard year, which I think it was 2000. I think it was 2018. Right? Anyway. No, yeah, no, Derek Barnett was the 2016. Derek Barnett was the 2016. That's right. Derek Barnett was 2016 because he got the fumble recovery on Tom Brady in 2017 in the Super Bowl. So it was at the end of the 2018 season where the Eagles traded up for Andre Dillard. They traded up for Andre Dillard. And you're like, why? And this was the notion, right? This was the notion is that everybody in the draft was or everybody out of the Eagles organization were like, "Oh, this should have been like a top 5 guy. This was a top 5 offensive tackle." There, you guys can hear me now? Great. Where did we leave off? How did that even happen? Anybody know how that happened? The fuck? Toxic, what's up, bro? Where did we leave off? Somebody messaged me right now. Now I'm pissed off. Great. For the past 5 minutes. Okay, so we started talking about Gardner Minshew and we started talking about Jalen Hurts. So obviously, Keyshawn Johnson. Yeah, I know you can because my light turned blue. So Keyshawn Johnson thinks that, says that Philadelphia Eagles or the Philadelphia Eagle fans are just in love with the backup quarterback. And that's not entirely true. So here, we're going to try and replay it. We're going to try and go through this again real quickly. Obviously when we were going into the season, we didn't know what Jalen Hurts was yet. And we still don't know what Jalen Hurts is. We still don't know. So when we traded for Gardner Minshew, our ears, our eyes, our eyebrows, whatever, they perked up because we thought, oh well, maybe what we're looking for in a starting quarterback is inside of Gardner Minshew. Maybe not, but maybe. And maybe that's why we made the trade, because we still don't know what's inside of Jalen Hurts. And then as the season continues to roll on, right, we see some things that we like. We still it's still not the situation's still not comparable to Carson and Nick Foles, which is exactly what Keyshawn did. And this is why I disagree with it. It's still not the same. Because as the season went on, we saw some things that we liked in Jalen, and we also saw some things that we also saw some things that we dislike as well. And obviously the things that we dislike were the fact that he isn't passing the ball very, very well. And that's something that we need. We need him to be able to pass the ball well. And then all of a sudden, right, Gardner Minshew comes in and we like it because he can pass the ball. At least a hell of a lot better than, at least he can do it a little bit better than what Jalen can. And so it looks like it's a lot closer to what we want, because it's a lot better than what Jalen has been doing, right? But it's really not. It's not what we it's not the expectation of a starter. So here's the thing. Here's why here's my hypothesis about what Keyshawn Johnson said. And he's wrong about what he said. It's not the fact that it's not that Eagle fans are just in love with the backup quarterback in Philadelphia. It's not. There's two things. We love the Rocky mentality, right? We love the underdog mentality, or we love the dominating mentality. Both things. The Rocky mentality is the underdog, right? It's Nick Foles. The dominating mentality is Carson Wentz all of 2017. If Carson Wentz here, and this is why you cannot compare those two quarterbacks, that quarterback situation, to this one, because right now in the Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew quarterback situation, there is no starter. There is no dominating presence. There isn't. In that one, in the Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, Carson Wentz was dominating. If Carson Wentz didn't get injured and he continued on dominating, Eagle fans would have been okay with it. We wouldn't have been rooting for a backup to come in. We wouldn't have been asking for Nick Foles to come in if Carson Wentz continued to dominate and didn't get injured. We wouldn't have done that. But because he did, we fell in love with the Rocky. We fell in love with the Rocky, which was Nick Foles. And even after that, It's not like we were totally all for Nick Foles the following season. We wanted Carson Wentz to get back to form. So Keyshawn Johnson is wrong. And all Philadelphia wants, like, yeah, we can be a pain in the ass and we can complain all we want, like all the time. But all we really want is we want to be the team that doesn't make stupid mistakes. And we're kind of tired of being the Rocky. You know? Because it's so goddamn hard. We want to have that dominating guy at quarterback. We want to have Aaron Rodgers. Because in 2017, it looked like we had it. So that's what Philadelphia wants. You know what I mean? What do you guys have to say? How do you guys? That's kind of what I felt like I was on a better roll before I went muted, but it's all right. It's all right. Shit happens. Technical difficulties happen. You know. Talk Falcons. One love, dude. Welcome to the chat. Let's get some. Mike Nixon. You were muted for the past 5 minutes. Yes, we can hear you now. Toxic Falcon says, I won't boost Minshew because he did beat the Jets, so I will still give Jalen the QB1 spot for. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. Jalen, here's what I'll say. Yeah, Jalen deserves to finish out the season. So, as QB1. But he's not QB1. He's not a franchise guy. Not yet. Can he be? That's the question. That is the question, my friends. You know what I'm saying? King Miro said, rest in peace in the chat for his mic. You guys are too funny. Look at you guys and your jokes. DB, we can't hear you. You're muted. Just getting back to some of these comments. Mike Nixon said, in 2017, I actually went to the draft. Eagles drafted Derek Barnett. Yeah, the 2017 offseason. Yeah, it was that year that the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. DK was 2018. Yep. Toxic Falcon says, do the Eagles got a bye week? They do. They do. King Miro says, Jordan Howard is coming back. Can't wait. Jordan Howard is coming back, and I can't wait either. So, yeah. I think that's one. I think that's gonna be huge. And this is why, honestly, is because I think that's huge because I don't think him and Miles have actually started and finished a game together. I don't think that they have. And so I really want to see them start and finish a game together. Toxic Falcon says, give us your week 14 predictions. No. I'm just playing. No, I'll do that tomorrow, dude. I got chicken cooking in the oven right now, so I gotta get to that. But plus, I kind of want to play Skyrim tonight, so I'm gonna go do that in a little bit. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Plus, I'll have more to talk about tomorrow on the games, the Week 14 games. We did go over Toxic Falcons. We did go over, obviously, Dallas and Washington. We did go over that game a little bit. So I think it's interesting. I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park for Dallas. Washington has been playing well, and I think that Washington will bring a game that will provide some tough cookie crumbs for the Dallas Cowboys. Dogs Falcon says you stay cooking chicken. You mean I keep cooking chicken, or I stay cooking chicken? Or like, man, you're always cooking chicken. Like, is that how you mean that? You stay. King Miro says, I'm coming for your meats. Yeah, Philly 500 says that all the time. I know. No. Nobody's coming for my meats. Nobody's coming for my meats. My meats stay here. My meats stay here. Nobody touches my meats. Nobody. You always cooking chicken. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good. And I like it. So, I mean, it tastes nice. I can't really, there's not a lot of excuses I have for I like chicken. That's kind of where we're at with that. You know what I cook it with? Coconut butter. Well, coconut oil, but the solid form. You know what I mean? Because actually, coconut oil, if you have it can take a solid form or an oily form, depending upon the temperature of the room. Dox Falcon says last night's game was crazy. Yeah, I'm not really sure how the Vikings let the Steelers almost come back in that game, but whatever. I texted Patrick J around, I think it was around 8:00. I was like, damn, man, like the Vikings are rocking the Steelers right now. And then all of a sudden I look up and it's like, really close. Doc Falcon says Chase Claypool is goofy. Yeah, Chase Claypool is goofy. All right, guys. I agree. Guys, I will be back on with you. It seems like my signal's starting to act up, so I do apologize about that. But I will be back on with you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we will go over the game prediction, things like that. Sorry about the fact that my mic was muted. I do not know what happened there, but one love, guys. Talks Falcons, King Miro, Mike Nixon. Thank you guys so much for joining. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. One love, guys, and go Birds, baby.